You need to ask your crush out today because tomorrow you could literally die. And nobody's gonna care because you didn't really do anything with your life. That was an effective hook, right? That caught your attention? I hope so. Today, obviously, we're gonna be talking about crushes, the crush, attraction, attractiveness, all that shish kebab, right? Crushes, everybody's had them at one point. If you say you didn't, then you are lying to me and yourself. That's two people you're lying to. Get it together. We're not off to a hot start. Now, let's say you're in school, right? You see this girl that you find very attractive. You want to walk up to her. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to say because there's so many things rummaging through your brain. There's so many possibilities, so many things, and so many outcomes that could come from whatever you choose to say. So now you end up going with the safest choice, not saying anything. It's the worst thing that you can do for your character development. Luckily for you, I've told you guys this a plethora of times that you should just go up and rip the band-aid off. So, I mean, you can just ask out your crush because at this point it's not about the crush anymore. It's about you growing a pair. So I took it upon myself and I asked AI. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. I had them give me a pro and a con list as to why you need to ask out your crush. You can stop being a little. Let's get into it, right? Pro number one says that clarity over confusion. You finally get an answer. There's no more overanalyzing text, eye contact, or subtle signs. You know where they stand. And I forgot to preface this, but this pro and con list is why you should ask your crush out. It's not just about initially walking up to her, but honestly, we're gonna kill two birds with one stone. You're gonna talk to her and you're gonna ask her out all within the same setting. Usually, I would tell you to take your time, build some rapport, but because of how much you've been putting this shit off, we gotta just do this shit now. You've wasted way too much time now. You don't have the luxury to just put it off another day. That's for people who get their shit done. Then again, people who get their shit done, they don't put it off to the next day, so they really wouldn't be a good reward. Never mind. Never mind. Now, just to rationalize with the devil on your shoulder, I put cons too. I asked them to give me cons too. I don't know why, but I did that. Maybe I did that to get the video longer. You never know. Number two for the con is a fear of rejection. Let's be real, rejection stings. Even if it's respectful, it can hit your self esteem and throw you off emotionally. That's true. That's true. I can agree with that. But the thing is, as a man, all you know is suffer. So that's not a real con. I mean, you're gonna have to suffer regardless. So at least choose your suffering. Are you gonna suffer and level up, or are you just gonna suffer and stay the same? There's a better answer, and I think you know which one it is. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It's kind of rhetorical. Indigestion. I'm getting old. Now, the next pro that we have, it says it's a confidence boost. Win or lose, just active shooting your shot builds courage. It sets the tone for how you carry yourself moving forward. That's real. If you can ask your crush out, if you can walk up to your crush and just start a conversation, just whatever, not worrying about rejection or a success, you can pretty much do anything because the world is literally rejection. You can do that with that job, that business. I thought I would have more aspects on the top of my head, but you get what I'm saying. You build that courage to do anything, you'll be able to do anything. There's not going to be one thing holding you back. The only thing holding you back as of right now, you heard me say this all the time already, but it's yourself. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. All right. So we have number four. It's a con. Awkward aftermath. If they say no and you're in the same social circle, school, work, or even the gym, it can make future interactions uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a thing too. But I'm a big believer in shit is not awkward unless you make it awkward. Let's say I ask a girl out that I find genuinely attractive. I want to get to know more on a deeper level than just a platonic friendship. So I build up the courage. I think about what I'm going to say. I go up and I say it to her. I execute. But just because you execute doesn't mean you're going to get a 100% success rate. So she denies me. She says no. She called me chopped. Could you believe it? Look at this caramel skin, this peanut butter complexion, this beautiful smile. But I forgot where I was going to go with this. Oh, she said no, ultimately. So now, if we're in the same friend group, let's say she was in the same friend group as I, and she makes it a big deal. She says, "Oh, that's why he asked me out. That's why he did that and that. He had a crush on me." Like I said, it's not awkward unless you make it awkward. You're gonna own that shit. You're gonna own the shit that you just did. Yeah, I did. I did ask her out because I found her attractive and I want to get to know her better. Why she's making fun of me? And you're saying all this to people, right? Why she's making fun of me? I have no idea. Clearly, it was a mistake. I would never go for someone as immature as that. I'm glad she said no, if we're being honest now. And that's the end of that story, bro. It's only awkward if you can't own what you do and you're not secure within yourself. That's a video for another day. That's actually a very good idea. I think I need to write that down before I forget that idea. Coffee break while I write this down. What the hell was I going to type?
Awkwardness isn't real. Awkwardness isn't. Is awkwardness not a word? Isn't real. You are just not secure. You're just not something. I was gonna say secure with yourself, but I feel like that would have been like alphabet soup.
Yeah, I'm so ghetto, dude. I'm saving all these in my Snap memories. That's kind of where I've been holding my notes and my talking points. What is this video even about? Number 5, the pro. It says it opens a door. You're giving something a real chance to start. Something like every relationship begins with someone making a move. So basically, it's like it's a great transitional step or period in your life. Whether you like it or not, you always if you're at letter B in your life, you had to get there somehow. There was a transitional period where you went from A to B. Therefore, you did something that put you there. I was trying to think of a good word to use, but I didn't think of it on the top of my head. Projected you there. I don't know. That's not the point. At some point, you're going to realize that if you want these doors open, you can't just wait for somebody to open them up for you. You got to push to open that door or pull, depending on the door. Those Chipotle doors scare me sometimes. Number 6, it's a con. It's a vulnerability hangover. Now, I've never heard that term, so I'm interested to see what that is. Apparently, it's you are putting your feelings out there, that emotional exposure that can feel draining if they don't respond how you hoped. That's real. But I'm looking at these pros and cons, and I'm turning all these cons into pros because that's how my mind is wired. It says, you're putting your feelings out there. That's always a risk no matter what you do. If anything you want to succeed at, you're going to have to put yourself out there 100%. Nothing less because you won't get what you want. Would you want something less of what you asked for? Actually, some of you guys do that shit when you guys ask for a woman's phone number and she gives you the Instagram and you take that shit gladly or willingly. It's like she's giving you leftovers. She's just telling you to become a fan. That's another video for another day. You know what? I might type that.
Taking the Instagram over the phone number.
Man, we just got ideas brewing today. I don't know what came over me, man. And number 7, I had a pro. It was a no regret. Even if it doesn't work out, you won't be left wondering what if. That alone can be a peace of mind. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I have nothing witty to say to add on to that thought. I mean, I agree with that 100%. If you don't, I don't know, you just might be stupid. Number 8, the con is a potential shift in dynamic. If you were friends or had a casual vibe before, it might shift things permanently, whether good or bad. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. This is a con, but it only makes sense that this would happen. If you've been friends with this girl that you find very attractive and you want to get to know on a deeper level, past friendship, you get the guts to ask her out. She says no. Now that changes the friendship. That's good. You were never her friend in the first place. You wanted to get to know her on a deeper level. And from that point on, if you were to stick around after that rejection, you're just waiting your turn. You're waiting for a bad night where she's vulnerable and she's like, hey, you know what? Let me give you this chance. I feel like you're ready. I got my heart broke. I think you've been here long enough, so I'll give you this pity relationship. That's what you're waiting for. You'll never say that out loud though, but we already know what's going on. After you get your intentions out there and that's not what she wants, respect that. That's okay. Then leave her the hell alone. You don't need to be friends with somebody that you're super attracted to that you want a relationship from. That just means you're waiting for something else. That's not even a real platonic relationship because you have ulterior motives. But y'all not ready for that. That might be another. I'm not gonna do it, but that could be another video. I'm not gonna do it, but that could be another video. Number 9, we move on. It's a pro. You might get what you want. This is one of the last pros, by the way. There's always the chance they say yes, and that one yes can change your entire season of life. Yeah, but just as easily as it can change your entire season, if it's something as simple as a yes from your crush, it can also change it in a negative way as well. So, with that being said, if she says no, I hope that doesn't ruin your entire week. I hope that doesn't ruin your entire month, your year. If that is the case, if you find yourself in a predicament such as that, you don't have enough going on. But, honestly, If you're already struggling with asking out your crush in the first place, you might not have a lot going on in the first place. And that's okay. You know, we all start from somewhere. This isn't to like put you down or anything. This is just to have a real conversation about how easy this shit really is. Obviously, it's a lot easier said than done. I was gonna say I was young once too, but I'm still 21, so it's not like I'm 52. There was a point where I was nervous to talking to women too, especially women that I found attractive. But you realize you see attractive women every day, so how many times are you gonna let that shit pass you by every day and not say anything? The worst thing she can say, no, no, I won't even do that. I made a TikTok. The best thing she can say is no. Number 10, last but not least, it's a con. It says timing might be off. Even if there's mutual interest, bad timing, emotionally or situationally, it could complicate things more than expected. I just botched that. Do I need to read that again? All right. Even if there's mutual interest, bad timing, emotionally or situationally, it could complicate things more than expected. See, that was so much better. I used to get picked a lot for popcorn reading. I was one of them ones in elementary school. Either way, do I agree with this? Yeah, I mean, timing is everything, but in that same thing, it's like I'm a contrarian to some of these cons that they put, most of these cons. Um, if it's something that you've been putting off, there's never going to be a perfect time to do anything. So you waiting for the right time, it doesn't make sense. And if she claims it was the wrong time for you to ask her this, I'm gonna be honest, bro, she just wasn't feeling you in the first place. It just wasn't going to work. If she really likes you, if she really finds you attractive, it would have been the right time no matter what. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that, ask her that as soon as her like pet hamster dies. Wait for little Jerry to wait for little Jerry's death to settle in before you ask her that shit. Or you know the right timing, but if it's any other circumstance where it's just a regular day, it's like, oh, I don't want to ask her right now. What if it's awkward? Bro, rip that band-aid off. I told you, it's not even about the girl at this point. It's about you ripping a band-aid off, becoming a man, and facing your fears. That's really all it's coming down to. This is way okay. Widen your lens a little bit. This is no longer about the girl. This is about you being a little hoe. It's okay because we all start off as little hoes, but we need to evolve past that. And you can do that ripping off the band-aid. So if you see this, if this video has got on your recommended, your suggested, or a link in my Discord, this is your sign to ask out your crush. And I know you can do that because I did it. And if I can do it, you can do it. Well, no, I won't say that. There's a lot of shit I could do that y'all can't. Am I a narcissist?